Hello lovelies, it's Sarcasm the Sickness, and welcome back for another episode of Skill Link. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's kind of going to... I've actually already recorded the other part of it, the main, I guess, meat of the episode. You may notice it is... no, it's not actually that much shorter, it's pretty normal. It is a little bit different. I kind of went with this one almost as like a spoken word poem sort of thing. So if it's shit, I apologize because I pretend that I'm a writer sometimes, but I don't know, it's just, I'm not that great. Anyway, the topic for today, I guess it's something that hits close to home for me. If you guys are following my Twitter, you probably saw some things last night, and I do apologize, and I really don't want to talk about that too much, just because it's not, I just don't want to bring that kind of drama over here, I guess, and it's not so much even drama, it just, whatever you want to call it, honestly. Essentially, as an artist, I was disrespected, and I just wanted to take this time to express why it hurt me so bad and why it matters to me so much that artists get the respect that they deserve. And, I don't know, I just hope that this, for one, isn't the worst poem you've ever heard, and two, I guess gets that point across as best as possible. I forgot to say it at the end, so please leave a like and subscribe or whatever, and maybe in the comment section, I don't know, just, I guess I don't really have a requirement for the comment section right now, just, I don't know, tell me what you think, I guess, tell me your thoughts on this, whatever, I don't know, it's, like I said, I've already recorded that part, so I'm not really trying to, like, intro myself into the next portion, but I just hope you enjoy, and I hope that you just hear what I have to say, and you guys are really good at that. You guys are really good at, like, paying attention, and not paying attention, but, you know, like, you guys care. For whatever reason, you guys care about what I say, so hopefully you care about this a little bit as well, because it is something that really is close to my heart. I have talked too much. See you, or whatever. Bye. I am an artist. I do art for a number of reasons. I draw when I'm happy. I draw when I'm inspired. I draw for friends to make them smile. I draw for clients to make some cash. I draw to prove to myself that I've still got it. And I draw to try something new. I draw to improve. I draw to relapse. I draw to get stuck on the same project for weeks. I draw to feed myself, and I draw to feed my spirit. And I draw when I'm angry, and I draw when I'm sad, and I draw when my soul hurts so bad that I can feel it aching in my chest and I can't ignore the pain anymore, and the only way to set it free is to let it spill onto the empty canvas. I draw when I need a warm embrace, and there's no one around to give it to me, so I'll draw one up for myself instead of letting myself wallow in self-pity for another moment. And I draw when I'm stuck in the swirling nightmare of my mind that swallows me whole when I feel I can't escape from the battering waves of problems and suffering that life continually throws at me, and at the very least, I can draw myself some jetsam to hold on to as I try to keep my head above water. I draw to survive. I draw to live. I am an artist. But I'm not just an artist. I'm a YouTuber. I can feel myself being pulled in every direction. To be loyal to my craft means to deny the other content creators of what they need for the price they want it. To be loyal to the community means to reject other artists and force them out of the market by underselling myself and undervaluing my work. To stand in the middle means to be quiet, that I exist in a community that doesn't value me or my brothers and sisters properly, and to keep quiet about the injustice that they face every time they're told they're asking too much. I am a YouTuber, and I spend hours every week recording and editing and waiting for renders in hopes that they don't crash or get corrupted. I obsessively check view counts and sub growth and long-winded comments. I put my essence into the videos you see on your screen, and I hope that it's all good enough and that it makes someone smile for even just a moment. I lay in my bed on a sleepless night and beg for inspiration to descend upon me and give me a new idea that will take me to some imaginary next level that people speak about all the time but never seem to quite grasp. And I'm a YouTuber, so I face the same accusations as every other YouTuber. Well, I must crave attention because I try so hard to make people watch my videos, and they don't see that I put myself out there because others have done the same before me, and are the reason I didn't give up on myself and give up on life. So I just want to be that person, if I can, for just one other lost soul out there who isn't sure if they're going to make it to see another day. But I must only do this for money because I monetize my videos, and that's not right, because as long as I'm having fun, the money shouldn't matter. but they don't see that the money I get from my videos is literally non-existent, and that if I worked a 9-to-5 gig, I would at least know that every day I could feed myself without relying on anyone else, and maybe even treat myself to a movie or a dinner after a long day's work. But YouTube isn't a real job, and they refuse to acknowledge how long I have to spend planning each video and recording each moment and editing every piece and praying that my computer can render the videos properly so I can get this out for them to see every day. And they don't see the pain in my eyes when the recording software crashes for the third time in an hour, or when the file gets corrupted without explanation. They don't see the tears brought on when I need to force myself out of bed and force myself a chipper attitude and force a recording when I'd rather just roll over, because there's no one to call to make today a sick day, and I can't afford to lose the upward momentum. So after all the stress and the pain, at least the video should look good, and at least the channel should be inviting. And I'm not making anything off of YouTube, so I know others must be just scraping by, and to have to pay money to make your videos appear more professional just to get back so little from everyone must be painful every time. But I am an artist, and I spend hours of time brainstorming and drawing and coloring one single piece. And I spend hours looking at my wallet, wondering when I'm supposed to be able to make a living off of this. But my heart tells me to push forward, and I shout out into the crowded hall, hoping that just one person will hear me and appreciate my work enough to drop a few dimes that I know will be gone in an instant, so why even bother? I know that art doesn't come off of an assembly line. I know it can't be done by any new hire who's just barely been shown the ropes. It's not the same thing as something you buy off of a shelf in the grocery store. It's custom and it's special, and it's unique to that person and unique to that client, and it took years to build. When I do a piece of art, whether for myself or someone else, paid or not, it is never just one drawing. It took years of tears, of pain, of suffering, of agony, of sleepless nights, of being told I'm not good enough, of telling myself I'm not good enough, weeks of depression and creative block, months of seeing no improvement in my technique and style, what feels like a lifetime of inner turmoil, trying to figure out who I am as an artist as well as who I am as a person, years of trying to convince my parents that I can do this and they don't have to worry, weeks of listening to them ignore that and tell me to be a school teacher or a psychologist instead because at least they get benefits. And it took me being rejected from the college I wanted to go to for art, with them saying that I could still enter as undeclared, and it took me having to settle for my second choice because they weren't so selective. It took me going to class and being scared because I wasn't good enough as even half of the other students, and it took me dropping out of college because the depression was too much for me to handle, and it was a year of convincing myself that I could still make this work if I just tried enough on my own, and it took me going back to college for another semester at a place specifically made for artists, only to find out that all the promises they made me were a lie, and that they weren't who they said they were, and it took me letting go of my pride and admitting to myself that I can't go back to those places, and it took every boyfriend who ever lied about loving me telling me that I was just okay, and every false friend who didn't understand to ask why I was still trying, and every coworker who ever saw me as someone who would only ever make it in low-level food service jobs. And yes, it took every person who ever disrespected me and my craft, and every person who ever promised me pay and refused to give it, and every person who ever doubted me and ever used me and ever told me I wasn't good enough. And it took every moment that my poor partner has spent trying to convince me that all of those people were liars, and that I do have a future in this, and that my art and my style and my passion have a place in this world. And when I do one piece of artwork, whether for free or for money, or for personal pleasure, or under the promise of payment that's never fulfilled, it's not just one piece of art. It's my entire history pulling together in this one singular moment to create something that someone might see as beautiful before clicking away to return to the daily flow of information being thrown at them on their monitors and cell phone screens. All of this just to be told that I don't deserve to get credit in the description of a video. So forgive me for valuing this over video creation, because I wasn't born a YouTuber, I was born an artist. Forgive me for wanting to be paid fairly for my work and my time, because I understand that there is struggle, but if a client won't pay me, then nobody will. And forgive me for wanting to be able to survive in this world off of something I love, instead of subjecting myself to another few years of burning my fingers on hot grills and greasy fryers, and being called incompetent because the establishment's policies don't align with the customer's selfish desires, and coming home every day wondering just when my life will begin. And forgive me for wanting to be who I am, an artist. But I'm certainly not sorry for it. Thank you for listening.